gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Let me read some of your questions. You can tell he's very intelligent. They downplayed him, and they should feel horrible for that. Yeah, but then she's sitting there trying to give excuses, like on the WSMV after his year. Now, we haven't heard them. They crawled out from under the rock to, once again, a self-preservation purpose. It wasn't about Sebastian. His father talks about Sebastian. They talk about themselves, let's be honest. And she's like, well, it was a misunderstanding, maybe the fluidness of the situation. I didn't get the information from law enforcement. I got the information about Sebastian from the multitude of interviews those two did. It was his father that had to clear up my misunderstanding. His father. I thought it was strange how he can do well at home with Seth on his own while he was working. Exactly. And they act like they didn't leave this boy home. This boy came home every day by himself. He was completely capable of taking care of himself at that house. But for some reason, it was an issue when Chris has to go to work, but not when Katie has to go to work. Explain that to me. They already know where and what happened to him, I'm betting. Me too. Absolutely. I've never seen a mother of a missing child act the way she did, unless they are the ones that, yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think we all kind of have our opinions about that. Seth wouldn't leave him while at work if he was way they portrayed him. Exactly. Sebastian, and that's why he wanted him to be in homeschool, because he had a program that he could go through during the day and he could do the homeschooling, in between that. But it was all set up so that Sebastian would not be alone for any significant amount of time by himself. And, I just sit here and watch, because these two people are now putting out, they couldn't put out any images of Sebastian when all of us were out there searching for him. But now all of a sudden, all these images are surfing, but none of a family, right? It's either Chris with Sebastian or Katie with Sebastian, but it's never Chris and Katie with Sebastian. And all the images that they're putting out, with the exception of the ones that only Katie are in, were all from years ago. And there is no recent photo that I can find of Chris, Katie, and Sebastian at all. I think the last time I've ever seen them all, I don't even know if I've ever seen a photo with them all together. I think there was one floating out, and it was when they were in California years ago. But where's that bike? It's so funny, because on one hand, when you hear interviews, Chris Proudfoot, the mom's husband, refers to as Sebastian loves being outside. So if he loves being outside and he loves going to parks and he loves going fishing, why was he always stuck in his room at that house? And why is a boy that's always home and never leaves in so much trouble? I will never get over that. If you listen to all their interviews at the beginning, they talk about how he wasn't in trouble, how he's good, he's been good, he hasn't had any problems lately, and all this other stuff. But it always refers to him always being in trouble or always having a punishment. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, I was a troubled teenager, and I'm not grounded as much as this boy that stays home all the time is.